What's up, B Squad? It is me, JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Ready to Love, you guys. Season 9 episode. Is this episode 8? Whatever episode it is, you'll see it on the screen. But yes, episode 8, and this episode is titled Exes Meet the Nexes. Now, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your post notifications. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss this episode of Ready to Love, shall we? All right, you guys, so the ladies are meeting Tommy in the lounge. And at this point, we're down to the wire. We have, 5 ladies left. And this week, Tommy wants the ladies to take these men that they are connected with and introduce them. Introduce your exes to your nexes. I was like, okay, Tommy, if that's what you want to say, right? Y'all know how I feel about always sometimes I can see it from a certain aspect, like maybe you can get some insight, some information from the ex. But like I've always said for years with me, with an ex, if you're an ex, then you're an ex for a reason. Because I know that Maya was like, she got to go and unblock some of them. I was like, exactly. You would have to unblock some of your exes. I don't have any exes that I've blocked. No. I have exes that I've changed phone numbers on, but I never just, not that I can think of. But neither here nor there, right? So the first person that we see is Patrice. So Patrice is going to be introducing her ex to Alonzo and Will, right? Now, when this ex came in, I was like, okay. I wasn't paying no attention to him, but then he sat down and I was like, wait a minute. I was just wondering, I'm like, is this a real ex or is this somebody that they found for the show, Because that's just what I was thinking the entire time. Then, somebody asked the question, how long were they together, right? And he didn't give they said years. He didn't really have an answer. He was like, we dated some time ago or something like that. I was like, that's not an answer. Like, any of my exes, I can tell you we were together for 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, a day. I never had it. Well, actually, yes, I have had one person that I was with for a day. I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. I was like, we're not gonna make it, and broke up in a day. That was when I was in high school. It was literally a day. I was like, yeah, nah, you ain't for me. You ain't for me. So we're not gonna last. But so we also find out this ex is married, and he and Patrice are good friends with each other. And I was like, okay. Now they didn't seem like super duper bothered by that. They didn't seem bothered by it. And honestly, I mean, you wouldn't be bothered by if he's married. But the fact that he said he was a whore and he didn't see himself getting married, I was like, well, is that why y'all broke up? Was kind of confused for a little bit, sitting there just like, oh, okay, I guess, right? So he asked Patrice and Will and Alonzo, what do they like about each other, right? So Patrice said with Will, she doesn't like the fact, I guess they had a conversation previously about Will and how he is when it comes to a fight or an argument with a significant other. And he was basically, he walks away and lets things cool down. That's not a bad thing. Because if you get with somebody like me who refuses to argue, I'm just gonna look at you like, okay, what are we talking? What are you like? I'm just gonna look at you and be like, okay. I'm not gonna laugh. I'm just gonna look at you, and I'm just gonna look at you, because I don't argue. Because when people I be looking at people in public, like I had a friend that stayed with me I've had a friend that stayed with me, and this friend was in a relationship, right? and be on the phone just you da 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 da. And I just be looking at people like I even have friends who do that stuff. I'm like, that's not cute that y'all sit on the phone and argue with your significant other. I'm not gonna sit on the phone and argue with you. I'm not gonna be in your face and argue with you. I'm just gonna be like, let's cool down. You're mad. I'm not mad. Let's just let this situation, cool down for just a little bit. And then we can come back and we can have the conversation. But hey, it is what it is. Now with Alonzo, Patrice finds it unsettling that she doesn't know when he's joking. And I was like, that's not a problem. Y'all know I'm not the biggest, I don't really see it for Alonzo, but hey, that's that. We'll pause here and move forward. All right, guys, so next up we see Mika. So Mika is meeting up with Tommy to let him know she's the second woman that she didn't have an ex to bring. The first one was baby voice Jeffrey from Miami. And so now Mika's the second one. And Mika, she said that she didn't want her last ex, they're not on speaking terms with each other, right? And I mean, when you're an ex, 9 to 10, you're not on speaking terms with each other, but okay. There's nothing against Mika. That's why I say I hate the exes, because I mean, I don't know too many people who are really on speaking terms with their ex, with the exception of myself, right? I was on speaking terms with the ex that I'm currently with, but that's because we ended in a good space. Most people, when you break up with an ex, it's not always a positive situation, but neither here nor there, right? So Tommy says, what about the kid's father, her son's father, more specifically? And she was like, if it ain't about their son, he doesn't care. I was like, well, in this particular situation, he should care, because your child is young and you're dating some men. So these men are going to be introduced to your son depending on if you guys are together for any length of time, right? But that's neither here nor there. So Tommy said he'll go out on a date with her, and we'll talk about her date in just a little bit. So after that, we see Vanessa. So Vanessa is introducing Chaz and Dominique to her ex, Thomas. I was just sitting here looking at Dominique. I was like, wow. Every time I see Dominique on the screen, I just think to myself, like, where did he come from? I always forget about Dominique. I truly do. So Vanessa and her ex, they met through his mother, who I believe she says she worked with, right? And they have a good relationship. Now, Dominique was the one who kind of felt the way because he met one of his exes through, through another, third party that he worked with, and he said something about it was very intimate. I was like, okay, that's your relationship. That's not her relationship, but okay. Now, something I did notice with Dominique, I noticed that Dominique changed his stance on children, if you guys didn't listen to it, because he said that he doesn't want kids, but he's okay with if he dates a woman that has kids. I was like, what happened to them 2 to 10 kids that you wanted? You realize that's a little unrealistic, especially, but hey, honestly, you guys, Dominique, I think Dominique's, let me keep it real. At this point, they can scrap all the men, because I just don't, let's see, who could they scrap? They can scrap Dominique, because Dominique doesn't have a connection. They can scrap LaRon, because I honestly don't see that LaRon has a connection here. And that could be it. Those could be 2 men that they can go send home. Because other than that, and then they can, so if I'm talking about the men, we can talk about the women too. With the women, we can definitely get rid of Mika. Sorry. We can let Mika go. We can kind of let Vanessa go too. Just saying. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. We'll pause here and move forward. Next up, you guys, we have Maya. So Maya is introducing her ex, Wes, with 2 S's, to Justin and to William. Now, when it came down to her ex, I noticed when Justin came in, I don't know how the camera was positioned, but I did notice at one point, He was looking straight ahead, and Justin was sitting right over here, and he wasn't talking to Justin. I was like, what is he looking at? Is he avoiding the camera? Like, I was kind of confused for a little bit, but you know, neither here nor there. So William came. I am kind of glad that her ex asked the question of William, like, so you were married previously, so you didn't get married for love the first 2 times? And I was like, thank you, somebody asked the question. I don't think William's a bad guy, but I definitely wanted somebody to ask that question of, why did your first 2 marriages not work out? I really was happy that he asked that question. Then, you know, I noticed that her ex kept talking about money. And I don't know if he was intentionally doing this, but it painted Maya off as if she's a woman that's all about what a man can, do for her monetarily. That's how it came off. I don't know if he meant for that to come off that way, but that's just what it came. And I'm not saying she's a gold digger. I'm just saying that's how her ex painted her. That is how he painted her, not me. What else happened? Nothing really happened with that date. Now, this next date that we get to is Rashina. I was so surprised. Now, when I saw this date with Rashina, I'm pretty positive I know where they were. Because I noticed in this episode that some of these scenes were not filmed in Fort Worth. They were actually filmed over here in Dallas. Like, that date that Patrice and Alonzo had at the Parole Museum, that's downtown Dallas. That is downtown Dallas, not Fort Worth. It's in Dallas. And this restaurant that Rashina and her ex-husband met Chaz at, I really feel like it's down the street from I really feel like it's down the street from my apartment. I'm gonna drive away in just a minute when I leave home because I kept trying to rewind it to see it, but I feel like they were in Dallas. And I could be wrong, but just looking at it, I'm like, I reckon, because the interior of that restaurant, I know the interior of that restaurant. I've been in there many times. I know the interior of that restaurant. So Rashina, like I said, she's introducing Chaz to her ex-husband. I was like, wait a minute, where's Justin? Because I thought you were connected to Justin, but okay, she's connected to Chaz. But then in the same scene with Chaz, she's talking about the fact that he's talking about the fact that their communication, where they may not talk all the time, but then when they do start back talking to each other, it's basically like not missing a beat. So then I was confused. I was sitting here thinking to myself then, okay, this is what I be saying when it comes to Rated to Love. This is what I be saying. But I guess their connection. And then the last date, you guys, because I've already talked about Patrice and Alonzo. That date was boring. I didn't get nothing from it. He was trying to show his serious side, but I was just bored. Period. Mika. So remember, Mika doesn't have a date. So Tommy joined her date with LaRon and with Justin. Ultimately, LaRon is the homeboy for her. She was telling how with her previous ex, he was cheating on her with other women, and he was someone who played video games. And so she was saying it was excess. It was to an excess, right? And LaRon was like, well, I play video games too. Like, when a new game comes out, I get it the same day, and I'm off for 24 hours. He would take off for work. Say what now? Now, here's the thing. I love video games, right? I play video games. That is something that I love to do, right? But for me, this is for me. When a new game comes out, yes, if a new game comes out that I want to get, I'm definitely going to buy it. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm going to buy my game. I'm going to play my game. But what I'm not going to do is play that game for 24 hours or even take off. Definitely not going to take off from work. I refuse. Like, unless I'm streaming on, on what's that platform? because I have it on my phone. That whatever that platform is. Damn, what is the name of that? What is the name of that platform? And y'all ain't gotta leave it in the comments because I know what it is. Twitch. Like but I'm not monetized on Twitch either. Like I can see it if you were monetized, but you taking away from your job where you get money. Please don't use PTO for that. I was with me because that would have been a hell to the no for me. Yeah, no. So yeah, that was it, you guys. And then we, the ladies went to the lounge. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't listen to nothing that the ladies had to say in the lounge. I just fast forward all the way to the end to see who went home. And ultimately, the ladies decided that. Now, in the bottom two, they had the bottom two. It was Alonzo and it was Dominique, right? And we saw them on the eliminate. So Dominique was out on a date with Maya, and Alonzo was out with Vanessa. Now I was confused. Why did Alonzo send Vanessa anything about the date that he took Patrice on? Was that the rubbing in her face? Like, I was confused, but ultimately the ladies decided that Mr. Dominique is not ready to love. So next week, you guys, we move on to the retreat. This season is really going by this season is like going by hella fast because we're on episode 8. We're on episode 8. So how many episodes we got? We got to be wrapping up very soon. I'm not complaining because I'm actually kind of happy about that. I'm actually a little happy. This, like I said, this season has gone by, relatively fast. But hey, we're here for it. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn on your post notifications. And until the next time, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys for something else, you guys. That's it, you guys. Peace out.